What's the matter out there?
Nothing.
But something was.
I'm just clumsy.
It's interesting, those ASTS 120 calls that I traded this morning as an UMCAP trade, I'm out of them now, but they're back down again to 260 by 275. There's 9,352 contracts gone off on those today. That's a lot of volume with 6,800 of open interest. Still pretty big spreads on next week's calls on ASTS. I've also got that 120 resistance level on it to concern myself with, so I'm just going to kind of watch it here for a bit. It's a pretty nice short UMC. United Microelectronics, semiconductors. Doesn't move a lot. QRBO. They had earnings last night, gapped down really hard, and this morning they're pulling back up again, but now it's starting to drift back down again. Another semiconductor company. And still watching Taiwan Semi here, just kind of riding along the VWAP. NVIDIA is drifting down. ASTS drifting back down some more. Again, I'm out of that position. Market internals drifting down here. Been going down pretty steadily since about 10:30. Market just chopping its way down. It is getting lower, but it's chopping its way down. And you can see the progression here. Gap up this morning, pulled down, bounced up to the VWAP, pulled down. Hasn't really bounced back up to the VWAP again on the SPY. Again, it's sitting right here, and this is that's a pivot point right there. Qs is also trying to get there. I'm pretty weak today. ARM Holdings, another semiconductor. Semiconductors are fairly weak right now. Watching TSM. TSM's holding up okay. NVIDIA moved up nicely this morning. It's pulling back. AMD was very strong this morning. But it's given back most of those gains again. Yeah, I'm a decent short here. Not a lot of big volume, but there's some, especially early on. There was a bunch this morning. Definitely a good week, a good stock for a short right now. Has earnings on the 4th next week. Sarang, as far as the ASTS trade, I wouldn't be too concerned about the Fed impacting it a lot today. My biggest concern with that is the upside to about a little over 120 as a resistance level on it. I still like the trade, and if I was in it and I was still underwater on the thing, even though it's coming down, I probably would hold it. I get out because I added and I was able to get out for profit, but I think I'd be inclined to hold it based on this daily chart right here. I would be inclined. Now this concerns me here, but if it moves up to that point again, you'll be in pretty good shape. And again, it's got the 8 right here with the 15. Remember what it did back here? Remember the next day after this? You know, who knows? I mean, it's pulled back again. Came back, pulled back again. This was probably the place to take it right here yesterday, but I don't think I saw it at that point. But again, if it was me, I'd take the risk. But I mean, it's hard for me to tell you to do that because I mean, it's fairly expensive premiums for out of the monies. Yeah, the market's it's still holding up decently. It's still holding up decently. I don't think I would bail on it for too much of a loss. I mean, those premiums will still stay relatively inflated because the stock is so volatile. The thing makes $12 moves every day. I mean, that's I can't tell you what to do. TSM Raja looks good. Doesn't look that bad off the view app. I'm going to reload. Joe said ASTS tends to trade the $10 strikes 110, 120, 130, 140 with much more volume. Yeah, the 120s had huge amounts of volume today, massive amounts of volume. Yeah, we're kind of watching ARM here. I like this shorted ARM. Ram Kumar, as far as ASTS thesis, bouncing off the 80 MA, you see another pattern where it tests the 15, it's tested the 8 the next day. So yeah, that's happened. That's what happened on that trade we took. Test the 15, goes up, sits in the 8, and then tests the 8. Maybe a better entry when it tests the 80 MA. Well, it depends if it's testing it off of a 15 when it went down to the 15 as well. Yeah, and it is decent for swing. Like I said, they get that 120.93 up there. It's kind of sitting in the way here. Again, if I'd been cognizant of this, I would have taken it off this morning on this big move up because I had a pretty nice profit. I had about $120 a contract profit in those things that I let slip away. But I still like this. I still like this thing long. It hasn't broken above here. Notice it's got a triple top here. So that's an all-time high in ASTS. But the problem with the UMCAT trade is the time. You only get 2 days after today. Yes, Rang. I mean, you can hold it even if it's 2 days. I would. I think that's what I would do. Yeah, it can make big swings for sure. That's one of the things. If this was a slow moving stock, you'd kind of you treat it a little differently. But with a big move like this, you can take advantage of it if it happens. It swings both ways, remember. There's a SPY coming down here, filling the gap to the downside, right through the pivot point. Next support on the SPY now is all the way down to yesterday's open. About 694.20, about 60 cents lower. Then you get the 8 after that. This has kind of been the pattern with the SPY as well. I mentioned this yesterday. Every time it puts in like a new all-time high, it keeps pulling back like this. It doesn't continue through it with much consistency. This big move up here pulls back, moves up, finally gets up to it again, pulls right back, breaks through it, pulls back, goes up to it, pulls back big time, moved up to it again. I just don't trust this for a pattern where this thing's just going to keep on grinding higher. This is what you'd like to see, but we're not seeing that. We're seeing a lot of these pullbacks off the high.
Members watching this CVNA Carvana continuing its weakness following those cautious comments by Gotham Research.
Big down and moving Carvana again. There's been some there was some negative news on it this morning. It's right down here, the 50-day moving average right there. Carvana. Tempted to put a strangle on it, but I think it's going to be pretty expensive.
Remember seeing some volatility volume in Visa, a little in MA as well as following Trump comments regarding deposit accounts. That's not Visa.
AST has bounced back up again. Moving back again. Again, these are not big volume candles, but it's a nice move in it. If you get in, you probably get out for profit at this point. Hey Tom, can I explain the pivot point concept and meaning again? Let's find the pivot point. Now, pivot points are a type of support resistance level. I mean, they're pivot points, so they're picking off a particular level that has been a place where the stock pivoted. I mean, if it gets down and bounced up, it goes down. That's why they call them pivot points. And there's several different pivot points that you can have on a chart. But I just have one on here. This thing is pretty good. A lot of times, if you're in a trade and it's coming down to it, pivot point's a good place to take the trade off. If it bounces, I don't use it as an entry or an exit, but I do use it as if I'm in a position and it's getting close to it, I'm aware of that, so that it may be a place to take profits. That's what I use it for. Yeah, I'm bouncing up a little bit. ASTS made a nice little move there. If you're trying to salvage this trade, you probably can do it right now.
Members, Trump has now concluded his statements regarding Trump accounts.
All right, see if we have any questions. Yeah, not much. It's gonna slow down here as we get closer and closer to the Fed. Again, AST has popped up here. Again, if you're in the trade, this was your opportunity to take profits. I'm out already, but I know some folks were still in it. SPY drifting down here. Q is drifting down. A pretty weak day, actually. I mean, even the market's up, but it doesn't feel like it's up. Intel still bouncing here. I'm just gonna probably let these things go to zero in Intel. I'm not gonna take them off for 15 or 20 cents. I think they're about 8 cents right now, so too much of a big gap up here this morning. Nice move here, nice volume in Intel as well. It's in the gap that Joe had pointed out earlier today. It's in the gap. This gap, it goes from, it's trading at 49.02. The gap fill is up around $52 on Intel. So I like Intel's a potential short, even though the market's coming down. In ARM, I still like ARM short here. Yeah, Shai's right. The strength of the market came overnight. Bearish trend since then. Yeah, since the open, this market's coming in. And this has been the what's happened with the market. Every time it gets to a new all-time high, it drifts around and it pulls back, and then it goes back up to it again, pulls back, and over a period of days and weeks. It's just no sustained move up. I mean, the market keeps setting new all-time highs. Remember, the SPY. There's a lot of big stocks driving the SPY. In the Mag 7, a lot of the big name stocks are driving the SPY up. At the end of the year, if you look at the whole S&P 500, there are actually more stocks that were red than there were that were green for the year. So that kind of tells you something. Again, it's about 12:05 here. In the market, we got 2 hours to the Fed, a little less, and the market is likely going to slow down here um, for the next 2 hours. I'm just kind of watching everything. I don't have anything on right now. I'm going to stick with TSM. We'll see what happens here. Again, I'm out of my ASTS Mooncat trade. It worked out okay, but it was a little bit of a roller coaster. J&J moved up, moved down. It's been up and down like a trampoline here. And I'm still up short still looks decent, but it's starting to bounce a little bit. Rocket Labs, pretty much holding its own here this morning, up about 1.5%. Nvidia chopping around.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became America's best-selling trucks. 33 million trucks later, we've kept that title every year since. F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 49 years and counting. And Ford, the most awarded brand for initial quality among trucks by J.D. Power.
Get up to $8,494 in total savings on a 2025 F-150. Only at your local Ford dealer.
Here's a look at the overall European forecast right now. Again, Friday through Sunday, we've got pretty good snowfall here for Greensboro, Raleigh, Charlotte. Another weekend where the airport potentially shutting down in Charlotte, Columbia, South Carolina. But look at this. There's even some purple around Myrtle Beach. North Myrtle, some of these areas around Pawleys Island. You guys could be looking at shovelable snow. And then up in the mountains, it's also saying, hey, we're going to get some good snow there. Plus, it's the mountains. Mountains always get good snow when we get a storm system like this. GFS is putting a lot more heavy snow for the eastern side of North Carolina. Again, GFS is one that's going to hug this storm system a little bit farther to the west. But again, you take a look at the mid-Atlantic, the northeast. Most of that precipitation is just offshore. So exposed areas could get hit with some, pretty good snowfall in some of these areas around the south side of Jersey Shore. Cape May is still kind of in a targeted area. We're watching you guys specifically in South Jersey. Again, GFS model is putting a little bit more on land because it wants it to go a little bit farther to the west. So again, timing is still a question mark here. Model outlook right now with the European, which we tend to lean towards, has this low really forming on Saturday. Snow beginning to really pump out here for Southern Virginia, North Carolina. That low is deepening. Steph, the wind is going to be picking up. Snow is going to be blowing sideways. And even if you don't get the snow, we're likely going to get travel delays just from the wind.
Oh boy, McMaster's gonna deliver the,
What?
McMaster is going to deliver the 2026 State of the State address.
Very exciting.
I can't
Control
wait.
myself. Just watching the Weather Channel on this storm.
Yeah.
This could be really bad.
For us?
Yes. Raleigh and up in that area, they're going to get 3 feet. But anyway, we're in the range of like 3 to 5 inches. But there's also a potential, like some places in Myrtle Beach and Pawleys Island, 8 to 12 inches of snow. This is ridiculous, for Christ's sake. And gale force winds. It's a big storm. We'll see. It could, it's possible that it stays offshore, but if you look at the map of the snow coverage, it's the whole of South Carolina. Columbia's going to get like a foot. That's going to be quite a mess.
Yes, it is.
Saturday, so that's good.
Well,
Waiting for the Fed. Waiting on the Fed.
that's coming too.
Yeah, but the market slows down tremendously. All right. Any more questions here as the market starts to slow down? Gold, on the other hand, is back to all-time high. Thank you, Shai.
Yeah. What a surprise, UPS is announcing layoffs.
Yeah, gold very strong here lately. Really just continuing up. Silver up today as well, 2%. Not an all-time high yet, but moving up pretty nicely. Again, I still like IRM for potential short, but I'm really just kind of sitting on the sidelines right now. I had that ASTS trade that whipped me back and forth. It's still going pretty nicely here. It may run all the way back up to 120 again. Market's starting to bottom out. Wonder if there's a run to the VWAP. Probably. I mean, it usually does a run to the VWAP. I'm not sure if the SPY will get all the way up there. This ASTS again is very nice. It's very strong again. One thing you notice here, we're not getting any high volume candles. You know, these are just standard volume candles, but that's a nice move in ASTS. Out of the ASTS surrounding. Yeah. Yeah, it's a whippy stock. I told you that we took it this morning. This thing can move $12 a day. I mean, some of these candles are pretty big on ASTS. I mean, these are pretty big moves. This candle here is 115.82 up to 107. These are $2 candlesticks. This one here, and we're getting high volume now. 117 up to 118. Again, you get that 121 above that. Simon, you took some ASTS shares and just sold them a little bit. Go, nice job. And it could keep going, but again, look at this. Watch out up here. All right, watch out for that area around 119.80 or so. Because this thing can rip right up there and then rip right back down again. It may keep on going. This is a really strong stock. Hey, good morning. Guru. Over in the YouTube room. Nice to see you over there. Again, ASTS, a pretty wild one here today. Really big move up, big move down. I took it and I did an UMCAT trade on it today. And then added to it as it pulled back and then came back up through the VWAP. And now it's still riding up again. This is a big move in it and big volume. It's the first big volume candle we've had in a while, but this is a pretty big volume candle. Last candle traded 90,000 shares. This candle so far, which isn't even closed yet, is 340,000 shares. $120.93 is the actual resistance level. 120.93.
Highs of the day. Following a NASA article says networks keeping NASA's Artemis 2 mission connected.
Elon Musk reportedly wants a June SpaceX IPO to align with his birthday and the planets. European markets closed down for the day. And so again, be careful on these kind of moves. This is why taking profits is really important on some of these volatile stocks. You want to hear something funny?
Yeah.
Trump just he said Tom Tillis, he's a Republican senator,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
from
I know who he
Nebraska,
is, yeah.
opposed losers. So they asked Tillis what his comment on that was. He says, "I'm a loser. Oh, good. I'm qualified to be Homeland Security chief now, or an advisor to Trump."
Ooh. They're turning.
Oh, they're turning. Yeah. This whole Trump says he's cutting back a little bit. He's not changing anything. He's just being a little bit. This is they need to get rid of all these people.
Yeah.
But he's going to replace them with bigger idiots.
Oh, yeah. He's not going to get anybody better.
All right. What time is your mahjong?
2:00.
2 o'clock. All right. All right. 12:17 here. And again, Fed Day. Gary, am I sitting with HP? Oh yeah, I'm still on the HPQ puts. Yeah, they may do nothing. I mean, that was a cat trade I took the other day, and I'm just holding it. I still got the $19 puts in that.
I'll tell you, the list of things I have to do goes on and on and on.
What?
I say all the things I have to do, the list is like constant. Hello? Hello? Yeah, it was like, hey Dave, how many square feet, do you remember how much that room was, 126? Or
What are you saying?
the room on the ship.
I think 123 square feet.
Yeah, like 123 square feet. I know.
That's like 12 by 12.
Oh, 12 by 12.
Well, that's 144 square feet.
Oh, really? At that height, yeah. Well, they wouldn't have just, like maybe next week or whatever, or yeah. Cause, yeah, I don't know, but. Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's the other thing is, is the view box.
All right. Hey, Maxim. Irene, relative strength. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a very strong stock lately, and it's breaking out here right now today. Irene, right here. Again, above this 58.76 level. Nice move in Irene. Very strong. No earnings until the 11th of February. Resistance right up there. Quite a ways higher. Nice look at Irene. Very nice look at Irene. A little choppy here now. As is the whole market. Irene moved up, moving sideways here.
The bathroom's part of the 12 by 12? Oh, no. Yeah. No, I was just asking. Yeah, I'm sure there aren't a lot of.
About 12.24.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Fed in about an hour and a half, a little more. We should be interesting to see what happens with the markets. Kind of, you can see it's just not doing anything right now. Market's been drifting, gapped up this morning, been drifting down ever since. Gold's been very strong today, still stood pretty strong. Nvidia had a nice move up this morning, and now it's been pulled back. Now it's moving up again. Johnson & Johnson with a nice move up this morning. It's been kind of gapped up, pulled back, moved up, pulled back, just moving all over the place here. And we're still in Taiwan semi with a call debit spread.
It's going to be cozy.
Carvana right here, still really getting pounded here today.
Allie asked me about you snoring. And I said, right, exactly. And I said, no, once I'm asleep, nothing doesn't bother me at all.
Shy feels like the risk off before the Fed. Yeah, I think so.
It's really gentle snore at times. Linda's was so much
Carvana, the spreads in this thing are really crazy.
Okay.
This Carvana it's getting beat up pretty bad right here. I mean, I was looking to do it a strangle on it, but I mean it's impractical. It's too much money. But what you could do, and I saw this, Harry mentioned this, if you go ahead and do a put credit spread expiring Friday, and you can use a 385, for example, which is right down here at the 100-day moving average, 385, 380. It's printing at $99. I don't know if you can get that for it. That's when it's going to expire in 2 days. But I mean, it's all over the place. It goes from 60 cents to 90 cents back to 50 cents because the spreads are huge on this thing. But I put an order on it for a put debit spread. I'm sorry, a put credit spread, selling the 385s, buying the 380s. And I try to do it for $99, but I don't know if I'm going to get filled on it. Spreads are really pretty crazy. Printing 78 right now. Stock keeps dropping like this, I might get filled on it. I just got filled on it. Stock's still coming in. I'm going to turn around and try to close it for a profit. Still going up there, but well, they keep running back and forth here. It's about $9.17, 95. Anyway, I put an order to buy it back for 70 cents. Again, I collected $99 for it. And we'll see if we get a bounce in it or not. Again, I'm depending on that 100-day to hold right down there. But I mean, if it holds up below, that's a pretty good return for 2 days on a put credit spread. It's a big flush even down from here. It's still got to drop down by what, $22. So we'll see what happens. Again, I got an order to buy it back. We get a bounce. I got an order to buy it back at 70, so I'd be making about $30 a contract on it. TSM trading at $1.30 right now. Again, we get the FOMC at 2 o'clock. I'm going to get lunch in a little while, probably about 15 minutes. Was UNH a day trade? Nissi, yeah, I took it yesterday and I took it off. That was a put debit spread I had on. I took it off at the end of the day. I was trying to get a profit on it. I took it off for an 8-cent loss because I was concerned about the bounce because it was so far extended, and it did bounce. It could have kept going down, but it did bounce up today about $9. So that ended up being the correct decision. I stayed in TSM, which is the Taiwan Semiconductor. I'm still in my call debit spread on that one, 340, 342.50, and I paid $1.20 for it. I'm trying to get $1.75 for it. Okay. Again, I'm going to get lunch at about 1:15 or so, and then the Fed comes up at 2 o'clock. AST is still a nice, ended up being a nice trade. It's still up here pretty high, but I'm in and out of that thing already for UMCAT trade. Still like it long, but it's got a fairly strong resistance at 121, so I'm going to hold off for a bit on that and see what it does. This Taiwan Semi, and again Carvana. I did do a put credit spread on this thing, 385, 380, and I collected $99 a contract, expiring Friday. So I just need a bounce in this. It's a pretty big pull down in Carvana, by the way. It is off of news. In Carvana put credit spread for $1.17. Okay. Again, there's some risk here. You see what Carvana is doing today. It's getting clobbered on news. Could it keep going down? Sure it could. I'm leaning on the 100-day moving average, and there's also a horizontal support level right there. So we'll see. But this thing is getting flushed really hard today, down about 15% right now. And again, if I get a bounce and I can get out for 70, I'd be making $30 a contract. I would take that. Popped up, starting to pull back again. Very choppy market here, this is not unexpected here on Fed Day. We are drifting down. The SPY's gone red. SPY's red. Q's slightly green, up by about 0.16%. My SPY still drifting down here. Again, red for the day, Q's green for the day. Russell 2000 likely red for the day, yeah, by quite a bit. ASTS jumping up and down. We're still doing pretty nicely, getting close to that 120 level. I'm gonna see what it does around 120. Johnson & Johnson pulling back again. Again, the ARM is a decent short setup. Right now, the market's not doing much of anything. Okay, we see if any questions. I'm going to grab some lunch here. Let's see. Okay. And we look at YouTube. We're going to have to shut down YouTube now. It's about been on for a while. All right, everybody. Thank you very much, YouTube folks, for being here today. I appreciate it. And I'll be back tomorrow, 11:30. Again, the Fed at 2 o'clock today with their announcement. Likely going to be no change to interest rates. Then Jay Powell will be doing a news conference at 2:30. So there's likely to be some sort of volatility in the market based on that. I don't think anything too dramatic is going to happen, but you never know with the Fed. So just be careful. I wouldn't have too many trades on at 2 o'clock. All right, everybody, have a great afternoon. Trade well. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.